Okay, so I'm joined by Ben and Alizo of the fantastic Calva Louise, taking their time out to join me in the car park during their sound check. So very much appreciated, guys. How is everything, first of all?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, this tour has been fantastic. We couldn't be happier to be with Bloody Wood on the road. These guys, incredible musician. They've been so nice and welcoming to all of us, and the shows have been fantastic. Yeah, super happy with it.
Cool. Now, I want to start with your latest single, WTF. Um, I understand there's sort of a narrative to this song, especially through the music video. Can you give me a little insight into what the story is actually all about? I've read a little bit, but it'll be great to hear it from you guys because it's really creative and I do love it.
Mhm. Yes. Well, I mean, the story basically, I mean, all the discography, all the videos are like, a point of view into the story that spans across everything. So WTF is just like, one little bit of the story that focuses on one of the main character, Luis, basically, uh, that has like a first encounter with a double, which is like a counterpart from a different world, different realm. And there is a lot of layers to it. There's like, multiple worlds, multiple characters. It goes pretty deep. You can find actually we've got a Discord where we go deep into the lore because there's like many layers to it, and many like throughout all the visuals uh of the band you can like recognize and link everything together. So Jess has been creating the story for many years now, and then she also creates all the visuals. So yeah, you can gather all the clues kind of, along all the videos and the visuals. And I invite everybody to join the Discord if you'd like to know more about the story.
Yeah, that's probably where you'll find the most information and people just discussing it as well. Yeah, I think that's kind of the central hub for all things Calva Louise lore.
Do you know what? I'm gonna have to check that out because I'm still gonna try and dig a little bit of the story from you guys. But you know what? You've got me hooked, and I need to find out a little bit more of this lore. Um, I also did want to ask, the video is set, or this part of the story is set in 1994. Was there a particular significance to choosing the 90s, or was it just a year pulled out of the hat, perhaps?
Well, I mean, it relates to obviously the story as well because the it's basically a prequel to the videos that came out already earlier in the last couple of years for the mixtape. So it's basically a prequel to see what happened to the character before these videos. So, that's one of the reasons. And also I think, we just love the 90s aesthetic as well. There's a lot of bands that we grew up with that from this era and that we love. So it's a fun. I mean, there's many opportunities to explore different aesthetics with the story because it spans across such a wide range of period and places. So it's just going to be one of many era and like time that we get to film and trying to have fun with.
Cool. Now, I did ask that I was going to try and dig a little bit more out of you with regards to the story. Now, obviously, WTF, it's linked to, as you say, lots of your other singles that have come out last year and over time. Um, Under the Skin, for example. Now, this was an absolutely incredible sci-fi experience to actually, just to actually watch. So can you give me a bit more of an insight into how they link up, or is this just a go to Discord? You're going to keep it mysterious on me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because I think you're gonna get a lot more insight
Future.
in the future,
Yeah.
in the upcoming month, with the as we go, you know, closer to the album and with the release, you're gonna get more insight and see where the junction is. So at the moment, WTF is kind of like, it may be harder to see the link, but we've got more stuff
Yeah.
coming out that is gonna be like you're gonna see the direct continuation of it. So at the end of Under the Skin, you can see that it goes back in time, back to 1994, to one of the character that was already in the video Under the Skin. So his like traveler version from the real world. At the end of the skin, there's like a big reset, and then it goes back to that. So that's where it links up. Like basically, Under the Skin's in the future.
There may or may not be portals.
Ah,
You have to wait and find out.
But it will be a lot easier to see the correlation, I think, between Under the Skin and in the mixtape, so Over the Threshold, Square One, Beast is Over, and the new video in the upcoming months for sure.
cool. Okay, so I wanted to actually ask, going back to Under the Skin, because as I said, I was completely blown away by it. And I understand Jess basically edited this, used Unreal Engine and all of this sort of stuff. How did she actually sort of become, because I'll be honest, I thought I was chatting to her today. Not that it's great not to chat to you guys, but you might not know the answer to this, but do you know how, she sort of became interested in such sort of things like Unreal Engine? Because normally it's, as I understand, it's mainly used for games production. So are you able to share that at all?
Yeah, well, so I mean, I think she was always interested in like, creating visual effects, and we've always shot our own music video, and so we've tried working, trying to find ways to do it ourselves essentially, and then COVID hit, lockdown, etc. And she was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna try and learn myself. And so she just went at it, 10, 12 hours a day, with Blender, Unreal Engine, After Effects, and like just basically taught herself with tutorials and everything, how to create those crazy effects and visuals. So when it was time to shoot, more music videos, like we were able to just like literally, like the first videos with Unreal Engine is just us three with like a little green sheet, and then just took that footage and just made it into this crazy, sci-fi visual effect thing, completely on her own. She's actually still working right now on our music video. We had to take her PC on tour with us so she could still work whenever there's a bit of time after soundcheck, before soundcheck, in the hotel room.
Yeah, Alizon built like a sort of like a custom flight case for it. So the whole computer, the screen, the keyboard, everything fits inside it, and we just take it in the van with us, and it's on wheels, so we can take it up to the green room, so Jess can work, in the small gaps in between, all the other stuff.
Well, I will say, pass on.
It's very much a DIY operation.
Do you know what, that is actually really cool. I mean, so you're talking like proper desktop, not laptops or anything like that. That's
Yeah,
quite impressive.
absolutely.
Yeah, like power the whole thing.
It is. Yeah, it's like the size of a big amp.
Yeah.
So not only have you got equipment to travel around with, you've got someone's computer as well. That is one hell of a story. Well, I would say pass on my congratulations to her, because the videos look incredible. To the point that they are on par with, £1 million movies, as far as I'm concerned. They look absolutely spectacular. Now, 2024 was an absolutely incredible year for you guys as a band. You've played festivals all over the UK, Europe. You even went to the USA along with Vocalist. What has this rise in popularity been like for you guys?
Well, I think it's I mean, it was such a busy year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
2024. Like,
2024,
I haven't really sort of thought about that, I guess. Like, we've just been heads down really and just cracking on. We had so many shows, like you said, in the States. We went out with Vukovi, and then we did the festival circuit. We did Download for the first time, which was great.
Yeah.
And Trees as well. We did a silent disco 2000 Trees. So yeah, I mean, it's just been kind of like a blur, really. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a good blur, you know.
I
It's
think
great.
what's great is like it's not so much like about the popularity or anything, because from the inside you just keep doing what you do, and then but I think what's great is that we got to do a lot of things that we wanted to do for a long time, like going out to the US and do our own. We did like our own co-headline with Vukovi, and then we did our own headline in LA, which went great. So doing kind of those big milestones for us, plus download like and said these have been a bucket list. So it's been doing things that we've always wanted to do for years, and so that's really gives you how do you say motivates you to
Yeah,
keep
it just
going.
gives you fire to keep going. Yeah, it's great.
So now you've actually broken into that more international. I mean, you're an international band anyway, but now you've really sort of when you break America, for example, that's when almost the world becomes your oyster to a little bit. When it comes to touring or countries you could go to, where would you love to actually visit and actually do a tour or even just play a festival or a show?
Well, there are still a few places we haven't been.
Yeah.
New Zealand's one.
Yeah. I'd love to go back to New Zealand, play some shows there. I'd love to do Australia as well. That's close by,
Yeah.
and that's quite a popular hotspot. There's a lot of good festivals there. And like I would love to go to like Japan and Asia in general, just tour there. I think that would be pretty fun. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, same. I was going to say that, like Australia, New Zealand, obviously, and then more recently, like Japan. I think we would love to just get the opportunity to go and play some shows there. So, and then obviously go back to the US,
Yeah,
because we love it there.
US is great to tour. It's amazing. The people are great. Yeah.
Cool. Now, I did want to ask as well, how did the tour with Bloodywood actually come about? Because Bloodywood are another band that just had this incredible meteoric rise in popularity. So to actually join them like on a tour, how did that actually come about? Because I think it's the 27th of March you're playing London, and well, I'll be excited to come and see you guys play together because both bands, I saw you, I think it was the Omara in London, and it was just an incredible performance. So, how did the tour actually come into being, essentially?
Well,
But we learnt about the offer very shortly before the tour began. Actually, we were on Shiprock, weren't we? Were we?
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
just before Shiprock, we were in the US, and we literally, I think we got the offer like 1 month before the start of the tour, and we're big Bloodywood fans as well, so it was like kind of like a
No-brainer.
a moment we were like, wow, yeah, let's go. And we were in the US, we knew we were going to do it,
Yeah.
and we just had to figure out how.
Cool. Now, I know you're quite strapped for time. You're in the middle of your sound check, as I said, so I'm going to wrap this up now. And what I'm doing to wrap up all interviews at the moment, and considering you guys have had a really busy 2024, I'm ending my interviews this year with a little segment called Tales of Touring Terror. Now, this doesn't have to be anything scary or anything like horrible or horrific that happened, but just something perhaps that's funny or memorable or something crazy that has happened whilst you've been on the road. Have you got a story you're willing to share?
Start of the Slothrust tour.
Uh,
At the start when we first went to the States.
yeah,
So
well, yeah.
We played South by Southwest, and
Excellent.
that was like kind of like we had that show booked, and then we started a 2-month tour supporting a US band called Slothrust, and essentially what happened is our plane couldn't let fuel somewhere else, jump on like a connecting flight to our location that we weren't booked on, and then our guitars got lost, and then we tried to pick up the rental car when we arrived at the airport, but we learned very quickly that they only take credit card, they don't take debit card, even though deposit was made with debit card, and it was just a shit show.
And the rental place was closed as well because we got there too late because of the delay and the flight and stuff. So the rental place was closed. The hotel reception was closed when we got there. It was like 3 in the morning after like 20 plus hours of traveling. Lost instruments, no car. Hotel reception is closed. We had to like
No sleep.
trying to knock on all the doors we could find around for like half an hour before anybody showed up. And then that was like the first day, the first time we ever been to the US before starting a tour in 2 months.
It was like, yeah.
And it was just like, oh my God, this is gonna be
It's like,
challenging.
What have we bitten off more than we can chew? You know?
Oh, wow.
But no.
Well, do you know what? When you finish the story about Louise and everything that's going on in this sci-fi world, there is a story right there. Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Calva Louise style. I would definitely check that out.
Yeah.
But guys, I really want to thank you for taking this time out to chat to me today. As I said, I know you're very busy, so thank you very much. I'll let you get back to it. Best of luck with the tour, and hopefully I will see you on the 27th. Thank you
Yeah,
so
no
much,
problem.
guys.
Great. Thank you.